See, we measured it. Hear your computer.
Woohoo.
Your computer didn't talk to us because you're not home.
I know, because I'm at my brother's.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Good morning on a Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday morning. Transformation Tuesday.
Yep.
Transformation. And today, look at you, Miss Green Juice.
Mm-hmm.
Today, what I wanted to discuss quickly in our 15-minute time slot, and Miss Denise has another live presentation she's doing that she may have to jump off here on. So if she disappears, you know what's up. What's up? Anyway, we talk about making that transformation, and we talk about becoming a new you and creating new habits, and it takes 28 days to create a habit. 28 days. I mean, and that's doing it every single day. I can tell you that you had said to me.
For some of us, it might take 35.
Sometimes it might take 35. Yep. And so, you had said to me, well, hey, it takes a month before you start seeing results being an IF or intermittent faster. Hey, Annette. Hey, Lisa. And so, AJ. But more than just to see the results, a lot of people, it would be easy to do this and get 2 weeks into it, 3 weeks into it, and go, man, that didn't work for me. That intermittent fasting thing. And so then what would happen would be is if somebody said, hey, Alan, tell me about intermittent fasting, I'd go, man, that sucks. That doesn't work. I don't know what those people were smoking or drinking or whatever, but I tried it. I mean, I was religious with it, and it didn't work. Well, I was religious for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yep.
And so to make a transformation in your life, in your future, in yourself, in your beliefs, and it takes a while. You have to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's not like, we're 3 years old and we don't have a lot of things already set up. You've been doing what you've been doing for however many years you've been alive, and it's not something that you're going to fix in a week.
Well, here's an example, and Denise and I didn't discuss this prior to this call, but so hey, Tammy, Denise's family, they're Italian, in case you can't tell. And they love to cook, and was it your mother or grandmother came up with this recipe?
This was my mother.
Her mother came up with a recipe for sauce, red sauce. Italians eat the red sauce, and then sometimes the white sauce. But anyway, and so somewhere along the line, y'all came up with the idea or whatever to, hey, we can take this recipe and we can start selling it to the public. So from the time it was an idea to where you are now, and you're really just now getting started, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got somebody who bottles it, produces it, manufactures it, bottles it, labels it, the whole bit. It's called Red Love. She's got her apron on. And so from the time the idea to the time that the first bottle rolled off the line, how long was that?
Years, because my brother had the idea a long time ago, and we never did anything. And then it wasn't until after my parents passed, then he thought more about it and then decided to do that. And then it was like a year, maybe at least, to kind of get it figured out and where you got to go and what you got to do. And really, we've been in production for about a year.
And how many obstacles did you run into along the way?
Plenty.
And so how many times did you think, man, is it worth it?
Plenty.
There's somebody sneaking in looking at you behind you. Does he need you think?
Do you need? No, I don't think so. Do you need me?
I want to make sure you weren't being called to the other screen.
No.
And so this was an idea, a vision, a dream that y'all had, to take your mother's red sauce recipe and share it with the public because you're having great success now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, so that's a transformation from an Italian family who, we're not talking about the Heinz family, but if you've ever read the story about Heinz ketchup, the guy went bankrupt. The guy went bust. He bet everything. He put his family's money out there and lost it all. And they're like, dude, you're done. You're in the gutter. And people were like, what a loser. He wasted, and so he came back. And so that's the same thing as it is in transforming and y'all made a transformation from an Italian family whose mother made great sauce to now y'all are an Italian family who manufactures and distributes their sauce. I don't know that y'all have visions of being the next Heinz because you have one brand. But man, I mean, when you make a transformation and you decide to do something and you make the commitment, and I think too, to add to that, there was probably times, now it's you and your brother, or is the whole family involved?
I have 2 brothers. Yep.
And they're both involved. So 3 of them. So I'm guessing, and again, Denise and I didn't discuss this before the call, but she's doing a live event to discuss red sauce this morning, Red Love. They call it Red Love. I'm guessing at different times, different ones of y'all were like, yeah, just forget it.
Yeah.
Did that happen a lot, you think?
Yeah. Not so much now, but yeah.
Not so much now, but back in the early stages, your brother had an idea and y'all are probably like, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Sounds good, but man. And so AJ wants to know how you can get a hold of some of this sauce, and we'll let her plug her sauce, link at the end. But that's one of the reasons that when you're making a transformation, you want to hang around the right people. You want to stay plugged in, because it's important, because if it was just your brother's idea and you and your other brother would have said, yeah, you're on your own, we're out, the chances of him getting to where you are today are probably slim.
Well, and I think too that even though like you have obstacles all throughout, even when you've got it figured out, because then there's other things that come into play. Should you do this? Should you do that? Should you expand the line? Should you, what should it be? Should it be this? Should it be that? There's a lot of things. And so it's the same with making a transformation in your life. You want to make some changes. You want to be more positive. You want to increase your, better your immune system or ramp up your health, or you want to do this business. There's a lot of things that happen. And just when you think you have it down, dude, you don't have it down. You never arrive. There's always learning. There's always going to be things. You just have to decide if what you want is worth you going through those things.
So if you remember a while back, I don't know whether it was a few weeks ago or last week or whatever, because all my days run together. I said, when you have a goal, when you have a vision, whether it be red sauce or whether it be to have a successful network marketing business, the question that you have to ask yourself is this, is you have to say to yourself, number one is, I'm committed, I'm all in, y'all, we're going to make this, we're going to do this. And you said it took years to develop, years to happen, without making, are y'all making money now?
Mm-hmm.
Profit-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many years did you go without making a profit?
Well, we've only been in business for a year.
For a year. But prior to that, you had time invested.
Yes. Yeah.
And ideas invested and effort invested and you weren't even getting paid for it.
Right.
Nothing. So during that ramp up phase, a lot of people say, well, I'm losing money. Well, no, you're putting it together, And so the question is how committed are you to achieving what it is you want to achieve, making that transformation? We talk about today's topic is, how do you make a transformation that sticks? Well, number one, you have to say, in the example we're using is Red Love Sauce, is we're doing this. We're going to run into obstacles. We're going to run into problems. One day, Denise is going to quit. The next day, her brother's going to want to quit. we're going to have to spend time, effort, energy, and money to make it come to fruition, and we're investing in something that may or may not ever take off. So the question is, how committed to you are the transformation, and are you willing to pay the price?
Mm-hmm.
Because I said, how many obstacles did you run into? And you kind of smiled and went, plenty.
Well, and I think it's important that when you're trying to, whether it's run your Touchstone business or change your health or whatever, you need to know for your own self what not just your goal, but your why. Why is it that you want to be healthier? Why is it that you want to run this business? Because that is what's going to get you through all the down lows. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, that's such a good point, because you hear lots of bumper stickers. I call them bumper stickers. You got to have a why that'll make you cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes the why makes you cry. Some people say, well, I got this vision of success and my kids going to private school and buying this place in Hawaii, and that just makes me cry. Sometimes it's like, I'm freaking broke. I got no money. I'm trying to keep my electricity on and I'm crying.
Well, I remember when Lisa told her story, that her why was really powerful too. And I think it's important to tap into your emotion and your feeling, because that's what will get you through. That's what will keep you motivated. And her saying, I never, ever again wanted to be vulnerable enough that somebody else had control of my financial picture. Right.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. That taps into emotion for a lot of people. And if you've had a tough situation that, you want out of, just remember what that felt like. That quote, nothing tastes as good as being skinny feels. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a powerful quote when you're going to jam in a big old chocolate chip cookie in your mouth and you're trying to lose weight. There's choices, but you got to remember what it is that you're going for, and how's that going to look? What's that going to look like? How are you going to feel when you get there? What's that going to do for your life? Those things is what's going to get you through the obstacles.
Yeah. And yeah, that's so, that's just spot on. Yeah. It has to be, you have, it takes courage. It takes strength. The intermittent fasting, it's a journey. And I kind of have fun with it. I've done different types of meal plans before and stuff like that. And I look at it like I'm competitive. I don't know if you can tell that or not. But this morning I go downstairs and we ordered pizza last night because we were out and about and I wasn't home and nobody was home. And like, let's get pizza. Okay, cool. So pizza and wings. And so I didn't know what all had been ordered. So this morning I go downstairs and get a cup of coffee, intermittent fasting. I get some black nasty coffee. It's all right. It's coffee. It's like hot water. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's not good. And so lo and behold, there on the stove is one of those big chocolate chip cookies that you get from Pizza Hut. Dessert ones. I'm talking loud, and he's going to be down there eating it in a little bit. And I looked at that thing and went, I didn't know we had that. That looks good. You could put that baby in the microwave, and those chocolate chips would be gooey and hot and fresh. But I'm like, no, that cookie's not whipping me. I got this. I can't. My eating window starts at 12:15 tonight because I was eating at 8:15 last night. So back up 15 minutes, 12:30. I can have some of that at 12:30 if I choose to, but probably going to have some lunch.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's are you willing to pay the price or you want to make that commitment? Yeah. So I love the red sauce story. Years in the making. Just an idea.
That's good.
Now I had some of the home. I didn't even have the jar. I had the real stuff when I was at your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the And the recipe was like a pinch of this, a dab of that, some of this, right?
Well, there wasn't one because us Italians don't have that, but my brother created it because he wanted his to taste the same all the time. So he made my mother come over, and they would, whatever she would put in the pot, he would catch in his hands, and then he'd measure it out, and he would write it.
Yeah.
Way more diligent than me. I wouldn't have the patience for that. He's an engineer. He's precise. So, yeah. Wow. So now there's a recipe, and there wasn't. So we couldn't. Yeah, we can't produce mine because I don't.
Yours is a pinch of this, a dab of that, a little bit of this, and you go.
We will eventually. I'm working on it, but
you go. It could use a little more of it. Well, hey, gang, listen. Transformations don't come easy. You know, they're not. That transforming your life, changing your life it's nobody. If anybody tells you it's easy, they're lying to you. But it takes commitment, and it takes
worth it.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it. And don't ever lose sight of your dreams and your goals. Don't let a negative spouse, negative family members. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because you can.
Yes, you can.
Now,
so whatever it is that your goal is, I want you to make sure that you have a feeling or an emotion attached to that. If
absolutely.
You don't, I want you to think about it. Think about how, when you achieve that, what's it going to feel like? How's it going to look? Because that will really help you move forward. And just understand that every obstacle is really just a little lesson. It's just a little offering for you to learn something to get you to the next piece.
That's right. That's right.
Let's get it.
Tomorrow night is Wednesday night, and it's Wednesday night training. Now, last week we had Denise Longton on doing her training on money mindset, which was awesome. And tomorrow night we've got a guest speaker who none of you know. Her name is Michelle Eldridge, and her story is one of the most powerful stories. I've heard some amazing stories. Her story is powerful.
What's the training?
Yep. What is the training?
Yeah.
What is the training? Is how to break through to achieve success.
Awesome.
How to break through. And so she's going to tell you her story, and she's going to tell you how she broke through. And I'm just going to tell you, if you have people on your team who are doubters, who feel they're not worthy, who feel they need some direction, feel they need some encouragement, feel they need some inspiration, feel they need to, whatever it might be. This girl, her story is, she's not part of our Touchstone team. She's in the direct sales industry. And I reached out to her and said, I've heard her speak twice. And I reached out to her and said, would you do me the honor of coming on and speaking to our team? And she said, yeah, I'd be happy to.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
I'll be there.
Can these people order Red Love online?
Yes. If you go to our Facebook page, we don't have a website yet still. It's Pachano Family Foods is the name of the Facebook page. And you can go there. And if you can't find it, just shoot me a note. I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, you can, and we don't, and yeah, shoot her direct message, because we don't share outside stuff on our Facebook group page. Yeah. And so shoot her a personal message, and she'll do that. And so we'll make it rock and roll.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Have a great day, guys. See ya.
Talk to you soon.